And I shall read it here for you. The stabilized oxygen answer for optimum health and energy. Let me read to you what it says here. Air bubbles trapped in ancient fossilized amber were found to contain oxygen levels of 38%. We have almost 50% less oxygen available to us today. And then it goes on. Before the advent of the Industrial Revolution, the oxygen content of our air was 32%, 6% lower than the fossilized amber. You know, there are crystals that have trapped water and trapped oxygen in them in small bubbles and stuff like that. The bubbles might be too small to analyze, I don't know, but I'm sure you can find something that did have something strong enough that the scientists could open it up and do some interesting studying. In the early 1900s, the content was reduced to 24%. Now, we're 8% even lower than the 32%. Is that not correct? In this new century, the oxygen content of our air has dropped to an average of 19 to 21% by volume. In relatively unpolluted environments, in large cities, the content may be as low as 15%, and in industrial areas, 10%. They say this is dangerously low. For scientists believe if the oxygen content of the air was to drop to 7%, it could not support human life. Unless you all realize this and you start incorporating a much better atmosphere to breathe, you are going to get sicker. You're going to have a more deadly disease, a more pandemic. You have to figure out how to breathe a better oxygen-rich environment in order to keep these diseases and other things from making you weaker. But we already are weaker. Before the Industrial Revolution, maybe we had an early death rate because we did not have the medicine, the knowledge to keep ourselves alive. Now we have the medicine and the knowledge in that respect, but we have totally misinterpreted and totally don't realize that the small oxygen content in our air is detrimental to us and could even be the leading cause of cancer, because cancer cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment. No disease can exist in an oxygen-rich environment. We do not have an oxygen environment. It is low, very low. And until you figure it out, we're not going to be as healthy as we could. You're not going to meditate as well. You're not going to do anything as well. It is the oxygen. And the oxygen has that special number to it, but I'm not going to get into that. We're going to make this short. We must have a much better breathing with better oxygen, a more enriched environment. The greatest antibiotic clindamycin. Well, at least they try to tell us that. Supposedly it was developed for heart tissues, for infected heart tissues. Now why the VA gave me that after another antibiotic, I have no idea.